What does the future bring? We alone have the answer. It has always been war. War between humans. War between species. War between light and darkness. War is the fundamental fabric of the universe. Dare we defy it? Will you help us prepare? Join Future Warbones.
All right. Swain, what you got?
Do you like meat and need? Have you ever gazed towards death itself and found strength? The stars are calling, Guardian. Join Swain Orbit today.
I think I just lost my appetite.
Listen up, brothers. In Bird's Monarchy, we're gonna slice them. We're gonna dice them. We're gonna take those pansies from Swain and Bones' things, and we're gonna crush them. We're gonna chop off their butts and stick them up their remaining butts.
All right, guys, just give me 5 minutes. We'll get started recording here. I'm gonna go make a mimosa real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh my God, I didn't think people would latch onto it like this.
I know.
Like the level of competition alone. We haven't even played a single match against each other
serious.
I don't want to fight you guys. I just want to hang out and play some Destiny. We're all friends.
I know. Are we allowed to be friends anymore?
We have to, be friends in private.
I'm pretty sure Dan killed Anklet.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm ready to go. Let's get rolling here.
Welcome to Bird's Monarchy, the home of crushing and smushing and fighting and slicing.
Andrew.
How was that? Was that good? Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Crucible Radio, the show for all things.
This is Swain Orbit Radio.
Swain Orbit Radio. Hey, that comes later. This is Crucible Radio, the show for all things Destiny and Destiny 2 PvP. And we are having some fun tonight here in Crucible Radio Theater.
Crucible Radio 2.
Oh my God. It's Saturday night. We're kicking back. We're having a good evening, and we're here to do, the second part of our beta feedback episode, and also, thank God, but there's always new Destiny 2 news, so there's plenty of new stuff to talk about. What's up, Swain? How are you?
I'm fiending.
You're fiending?
It feels like it's been like a million years since the beta ended, and I need more Destiny 2, or I'm going to die. I'm going to literally die.
Yep.
Literally.
It's tough. I went back to D1 for the first time last night.
Yeah.
And
Ew.
It was it was a thing. It was it's still
Destiny
fun.
1 is still a game.
It's still a game. And I will say I missed the crispy 3-tap like clockwork. I missed I missed the speed of it, the running around. Being able to play more than one map on each game mode, and being able to wear different shaders. But it's gonna be we're home stretch now. We're home stretch boys.
Yeah.
Because
how many days? Oof.
How many days?
Like 40 something, I think.
39 at the time of this recording.
Oh damn.
Oh wait, I got 37.
What?
Where are you going?
I've
don't
got
know.
30.
Nope. Someone's wrong. Someone's wrong.
Okay, well, there are some number of days until Destiny 2 comes, and
a month.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah,
Let's
they're
go
saying
with
30.
a month or so.
A month. Oh, the longest month.
Yeah. August sucks too. It's so hot, gross. Maybe I could just. Oh wait, no, I got lots of work. I was gonna say I could sleep the whole time, but that's not a possibility.
August month, worst month. Let's get some August hate in the chat, please.
Yo, screw August. What is there to do in August?
No, what you can do in August is go on over to iTunes and leave us a review. We would prefer 5 stars, please. You could also do it on Stitcher, the other Android apps. I know they do it too. Help us grow the Crucible Radio family, find more listeners, climb the charts and be the best that we can be in D2.
Yep.
Head on over.
Easy way to kill a minute and a half from now until September 6th.
Yeah, you're almost there. Almost there. Maybe we can even at some point get Birds to put a link on the website.
Someday. Keep asking nicely.
D3.
Another thing you can do to kill time in August is play the PC beta, which starts the 28th for pre-orders. I'm going to see if my computer can just run it at the minimum specs. And because, I mean, it's not like I'm not going to play Destiny.
Hang on, hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, it might look bad, but I still want to play just to do something.
What I'm finding is that my computer can run these things, but I can't stream them at the same time. That destroys my computer. But I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy trying my best. Probably play way more PvE on the PC beta.
Yeah. I just want to. I mean, that's kind of what I plan on doing if I get Destiny 2 on PC, is to just like get what I need to raid and have the most stunning visual experience I can muster. But my keyboard and mouse, even though I practice a little bit, has not gotten drastically better. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, we do have some D2 news to tide us over until then. Always Bungie hard at work with IGM, keeping us alive on that steady IV drip of Destiny 2 details. Big one this week. We found out what the other comp game mode was. It's skirmish. Wait, I mean survival.
Yeah.
The spiritual
There's 4 of them.
successor, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't get a lot of time to watch this video. I know there was a walkthrough with Lars again, but I got the basic concept of survival, but were there any impressions? What do we actually think about this game mode?
I mean, it felt... Well, so skirmish is skirmish, right? You play continuously for a set amount of time, and when you're watching good skirmish teams, they generally rotate around the map, so it's constantly moving from spawn to spawn. This one is a little bit more anchored, like Trials. You know, you start on either side, and they, in a way, have sort of made it an objective game mode by having the power ammo drop in the center of the map. And so there's a push to claim space, to push that line forward, to control that power ammo, to mush your team. And I believe it does play elimination style. So each team gets so many lives. Once they're out, the round is won or lost, and you play the next round. It does swap sides every time. Am I correct? Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, that seems to be the case for both competitive modes now.
Countdown ends. Survival. It seemed pretty cool. I like the idea of like a mode where you end up having enough like lives. It almost feels like they're like Sonic or Mario. I've got so many lives.
Yeah, Smash came to mind. Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of just hopefully it gives you a chance for your real slayers to save you on those lives. And then the people that are, a little less experienced or have different roles can use those.
Yeah, there's definitely some interesting strategy that's going to come up, and keeping a head count of who's died and how many times. I'm sure it'll show you on the HUD quite easily, but there's going to be scenarios where you might have the comfort to push up and be aggressive and have 3 lives left, but then suddenly you find yourself in a scenario where if you die, you're dead. I think it's going to be kind of high intensity.
So what do you guys think about the very clear, difference between these game modes being titled like quick play and competitive? It's seeming like, obviously competitive has some, has a very elimination feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
The way I see it is that they're setting up the verbiage to, down the line promote more competitive environments in those playlists. I don't know if it's ranked. I don't know what that entails. But do you think those game modes would play well for something like that?
That's an interesting thought. I think elimination changes things a bit, right? Like, when you're playing control, right? If you die, you respawn, and if you don't die, you're just around forever. In this one, as soon as you enter that elimination mode, any person on the team might be the last guardian standing, and whatever the expectation is, there's still the possibility that anyone might be asked to come and clutch it out.
Which is so much harder, D2.
Yeah, which is harder. Although, don't say it can't be done. Some folks have sent us some clips this week. If you control that power ammo, you very much can take on more than one person in response.
You do have to defuse, the rift.
Yes.
I had a play in Countdown where I had a final stand, 1v3. I had the shotgun. I baited all three of them slowly into this hallway, kind of pushed towards one door and took one out, and then had the other one overextend. And I was like, yeah, nice 1v3. And then I was just like a mile from the bomb, and I had no time to run over and defuse it. And I was like, oh, that's what they were doing. They were just delaying me.
Yep.
My favorite Last Guardian standing was True Vanguard. He popped his Sentinel, and he sat there and held the shield up and also diffused the bomb at the same time. And they ended up killing him,
clever.
But he got the win.
Yeah. I think there's an aspect to survival I predict I'm going to like a little bit more. Like, the objective game modes are fun, but I think you're right. They sort of like exaggerate the difficulty of clutching, because even if you do manage to kill everyone, you still have an objective to contend with. Survival is a little bit more straightforward because you just kill the enemy team. And the gameplay that we saw is aight. I mean, like,
the cuts were very weird, right?
Yeah, they were doing some careful editing, but I think the version of survival that we play and that we come to recognize as high level play is going to be a slightly different looking game than what we saw with just some average tier players playing in that video. I think if what we saw felt and looked pretty static, a lot of like hard lines and pitch battles being fought, but that once people get into the groove of it, pro teams are going to be doing big flanks. They're going to be moving around the map as fast as they can as soon as we figure out the fastest way to move, and really contesting from a lot more angles than we saw in just sort of the straight ahead shootouts there.
Yeah, just thinking about it more, like even being able to track how many lives the enemy team has, when you sort of know you have the upper hand, it won't be a stare down like, who might pick up power. Teams are just going to jump on the opponents and go, all right, you guys have 2 left, collapse. And those 4-person collapses are going to be real strong. And it's going to be a pretty aggressive mode, I would think. Swain, you asked if it feels competitive, and it's interesting now that we know sort of every mode and we know the parameters of the Crucible, 4v4, that kind of thing. It seems like they take a little bit of everything that was competitive in Destiny 1. The sweat players that love 4v4 and love that team size, and then you got Trials. And Trials elements are very, very obvious in both Countdown and Survival. And it seems almost a perfect combination of both of those. So the potential is there. And I think we keep guessing like, oh, what are we going to do in Trials with these modes? And it could be a new mode entirely. It could be something else. But, Survival and Countdown both feel like they would be great for that. I could totally see trying to win 7 straight games of Countdown or 7 straight games of Survival. They both seem to fit really well for those sort of intense games.
Well, IGN didn't stop there with revealing Survival. They also had a little bit of an AMA with the Bungie crew. They asked, players and people that frequent the website to leave comments on the post, and then, Luke Smith and friends would come back and answer them.
Yeah, a lot of them are a little, just about the game as a whole, not a lot of Crucible strategy specific stuff like theater mode and things like that. Yeah, sort of feel like those are all maybe elements we'll see down the road. I hope Husky Raid can still make some cool videos and things like that.
They'll find a way.
They will find a way. Stuff about
They always
HDR and
do.
all that. But yeah, there was some cool stuff. I particularly liked the question about armor and how it looks, because that's a real huge change. And because we only had 3 armor sets for each class, it was tough to really gauge the full possibilities and what this meant for the game. But this new resilience, recovery, and mobility thing is big. I mean, that's huge. That's a very different change that we haven't even discussed much. But I liked this question about, will they visibly reflect that? Since now it's the armor that's doing that. It's not just purely go into your subclass and pick Titan Codex 1 or whatever. And that's cool. So it's more of like I look like a fast character, or I look like a tankier character.
Yeah, I thought this quote from Luke Smith that looks like it was actually updated after the article was published said it all. With each piece of armor, the design team considered its visuals before assigning stats to it. For instance, armor that looks thick and defensive, armors assigned the heavy designation, which prioritizes resilience and recovery. Our goal with resilience, recovery, and mobility is that these are stats players can feel while they are playing. For example, a high mobility Warlock running a lightweight weapon is going to zoom around the battlefield more than a Warlock who has prioritized resilience or recovery. Adding additional resilience, recovery, or mobility to a piece of armor is just one use for the much discussed mod slot on armor in Destiny 2.
Interesting.
Very interesting. I suspect we're going to see some of the other perks that we see in D1 on armor right now show up as mod slot options, like, reduce void burn, a lot of PvE sort of more specific stuff. But yes, we wait with bated breath.
Mod slots make the game interesting. Just I'm trying to think about all the things that possibly happen.
Where do I put my materia? I got all this materia, no place to put it. We also saw, what was that? What was that video? Was that like a trailer or a commercial that we saw that featured that new Suros sidearm?
Yeah. There's a pre-order bonus. This is from.
Oh yes, that's the one.
Yeah. So basically, with certain pre-orders, please do not ask us to explain what pre-order you did and what you get with it. We have no clue. Check out More Console. I think he spent a day researching what the heck you get. But we saw stuff like the Kill Tracker Ghost, which was nice. And then the digital thing, you get like a sword. There's new sword archetypes, according to Mark Noseworthy now, which is very interesting. But yeah, there's a few guns that they showed off in this little trailer, and you can catch it on PlayStation's YouTube channel. But you saw some familiar faces, but they just looked different. So we saw like the Minuet and the Deathstalker, but it had like the weapon shaders, I guess. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah.
And everything looks real shiny and cool. Like, I can't lie.
You know how you said that the Suros sidearm might be Iron Banner? What if?
Yeah.
What if it's just like a shader or a skin for your weapon that you get from Iron Banner?
Ooh.
Yeah, it could be. So if you're wondering what we're talking about, if you see like 10 seconds of this little pre-order Kill Tracker Ghost trailer, there's a grenade launcher, and then it whips out this Suros sidearm that fires really fast. It looks very full auto, maybe a burst fire mode, but both of these guns have the little Iron Banner insignia. So you've got the tree with the wolves, and they've got a nice kind of black and gold aesthetic from what I can tell. But yeah, this is a Suros gun. So it's from one of the foundries, and typically the Iron Banner weapons have looked very separate from your standard Suros, Omelan, or Haka. So it either implies that Suros is making the Iron Banner weapons now, or you could maybe make anything look like an Iron Banner gun.
Yeah, that's
a cool idea.
It's got me thinking that like maybe like there's all sorts of things that could come out of this. Like the foundries are offering big prizes for Iron Banner winners, and every foundry offers up a really cool gun, and then you can slap your Iron Banner shader on it. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Very interesting things that could possibly happen with this stuff.
We're gonna do 5 episodes about mods. They're the most intriguing thing so far.
Welcome to Mod Week, Part 1 of
Crucible Mario.
16. We also saw the exotic, the pre-order exotic Cold Heart.
Yeah.
Like you
Trace
really
rifle.
love that Zarya cannon, and so you have it in Destiny now, and it goes.
It goes.
That's good. Required get 3 clips of that for your montage to prove
It's like a
that
sleeper simulant. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You gotta throw your
have it
bounce
there.
sleeper simulant play.
There's a few other things in the AMA that I think are really interesting. Before we move along,
What did you like?
I think one of the most interesting things in here is that they openly say that PvP and PvE will be balanced separately in many ways. Outgoing damage across weapon archetypes, ability, and melee damage are all different from the different types. So PvP and PvE will have different damage types, but they're actually just going for so that your guardian feels just as strong in both. Doesn't feel different. So it's like a yes and no answer.
Well, and we've also heard news that they have been thinking about the super recharge rate, that the rate we were playing with in the beta. You know, this is an old build. I don't know if they confirmed it had been bumped up, but that they're definitely thinking about that, and that the playing a whole game without getting your super once is not really the Destiny experience, although it might still be
Right at the bottom,
near
they
the
say,
end.
in the wake of the beta, we've made a few changes that will increase super regeneration across the game. So they have put something in place to make it happen more often, hopefully, or maybe just happen before the game ends. That's how I would like it. There was definitely a few in there that like I'd be like, oh, cool, got my super. Oh, it's over.
Yeah. Oh, it's so painful to get to the end of a countdown match without getting your super and just thinking, yep, I was not very helpful this game. Must not have been.
So like, go to your
doing
corner and don't use your super.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, before we get to the meat, which is, our subclass discussion, I think we should explain what the heck we were talking about in our opening with this whole clan wars thing.
Oh, I
mean,
could launch back into it in an instant.
Please don't.
Okay. Oh.
I'll need you to smush me right now. So, yes, we've talked about this on Twitter. I kind of had the idea and in a single tweet going like, this would be fun, right? And then everyone's like, yes! And I was like, okay, but I don't know what that means. So we'll do our best. But yeah, so
I definitely remember that day just being like, do you think this could work? Like, I feel like
what does it mean?
It's a pretty cool idea. And, it'd be great to get with the clan changes to like really get into it. So, Bones, tell us a little bit about what we're doing.
Yeah, I really jumped on the clan thing once they gave that little update that you can now sort of prepare your clan for Destiny 2. So, there are Bungie clans, but more importantly, these are sort of like teams you can vote for. Now, this is like, what's your home team? And we each made our own Discords, Swain Orbit, Birds Monarchy, and Future Warbones. You can join the Crucible Radio Discord and find all the links in announcements. But basically, it's like your team to root for, and if you want to play for, because there's a finite number of slots in the clans themselves, but anyone is welcome to support, and there are still spots open. This leaves us an option to do a variety of sort of competitions throughout Destiny 2 for as long as we do this. Maybe we'll do seasons or something like that, but
I've talked about it a little lately, how D1, I didn't feel like there was like stakes. I didn't feel like I had something in the game where I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. Like, I love how Lazy Summerstone has like the watermelon exo, and it's like, that's his thing. Like, he's got this exo you could see it and be like, oh, that's the one, that's his guardian. And I didn't feel that way about my own guardian, and it was kind of weird. And now that I reflect on it, I didn't even feel that way about like a particular faction. They didn't I feel like a lot of people felt that way. You know, no one really identified with certain factions except Deej. Deej was really pushing Swain Swain Orbit. Anyway, and I think this feels like a pathway for us to really capture those faction like feelings. Like, oh, I'm part of Dead Orbit because that's what my clan represents. And
and there's going to be actual clan features. We can actually work on unlocking new things. We don't know what they are, but we're going to have something to
and stuff.
Yeah, to show off and things like that. So we'll be doing that. We'll have, monthly goals that all of us as a clan should try to hit, best average score of this, blah, 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 whatever, sort of track those numbers, how we're doing, how we're improving. And we can definitely do some clan war showdowns where we face off against each other. We all three of us have been sort of maybe building some teams in the background, pulling in some heavy hitters and seeing who we can bring to our side when it matters.
But for real, we would love to have you in our clans if you choose so. I do think there's different aspects to all three of us. You kind of get, the way we appear on the show is definitely how our clans will probably end up being. Like
cool dude, good guy, and overthinker.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
I'm the cool guy, right?
I'm cool. Wait, what?
No, Swain's cool dude. You're the good guy. Or
wow,
no, good. Let's say good at video games and overthinker. Yeah. Well, I mean, we can talk about the competitive side of it too, and for sure, there's going to be some big deal exhibition matches with our very best talent. But I think this is something that's open to everyone. We've got all skill levels in here. We're going to have some competitive challenges, but we're going to have some casual challenges. We're going to have some goofy challenges.
Even just getting a few kills will contribute toward your clan's success. I think that's really cool.
And on top of that, these clan things, if you don't want to join the clan literally on Bungie.net, you can still come hang out in the Discord and be a, future Warbones supporter, because, that's what we need. We need fan sections for when those showdowns happen. So stick to your clan that you've been rocking for 10 years with your buddies. But when it's Saturday and there's a big clan showdown, you fly those colors, we'll be good to go.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. And, you could find it on
the space internet.
The space internet? you could find it in our Crucible Radio Discord. Like Bird said, it's in our announcements channel. Links to join all of the Discords. We'll probably, but Birds, you want to at some point get links to on the website to our individual clans?
Working on it.
We're working on the website.
Don't you have an entire court? Isn't there like a court jester that can do this for you? Is Keen good at the?
Yeah, no, I actually do have someone helping me with it, and I don't want to say his name now because I don't want to call him the court jester. But
that was Swain's term.
I'm gonna figure it
out.
out.
I'm actually I finally ended up, because I'm terrible at taking time off. I like working too much, or just don't do it. So I forced myself to book some days off. So I actually have a second day off on Monday where I think we're gonna get this thing close.
Whoa.
At least get the beta out. Hold on to your butts.
You say beta? Beta?
Oh yeah.
Well, the Destiny 2 beta.
CR.com beta. Yeah, well, not quite. Not quite. But yeah, come hang out in the Discord. Come hang out in all of the Discords. Get to know us. I don't know about you guys, but inside Birds Monarchy, we're gonna be learning lessons. We're gonna be running drills. We're gonna be pairing up new players with experienced players to teach them how to run as a pack and how to communicate, how to make those call outs. So if you've been looking to make that jump from solo queue player, you're all right, you're starting to get the hang of it, but you really want to see what this whole competitive side, this whole team-based side is all about, come check these out, because we got players of all types from all around the world playing with us.
We doing
it's a good old group.
Individual clan pitches, because
Nope, I made very careful to phrase that as all three of us.
Sure.
We're all going to be doing stuff, but
We're going to have a book club in Swain Orbit.
okay. Poindexter.
We're going to improve you and your game.
Via literacy.
Just come see what Future War Bones is all about. I won't talk your ear off right now.
All right. Should we talk about these subclasses?
Yes. So last week, we did our first half of the beta. We talked about the guns. We talked about loadouts. There was a lot of good things to discuss, but we needed a little bit more time. And after roughly 800 hours of playing the beta, I have some thoughts about all of the subclasses after I got a little action on all three of our.
Can we do like a hot take segment? What's our hot takes?
Hot take segment. Our hottest take.
Like your quickest reaction to subclasses.
Okay.
Dive deep into them.
Okay, hot takes.
Hot take alert.
I got a hot take for you right here. That the classes were all different for me in how much I liked them right off the bat, but I ended up liking them all in the end, one way or another, either from playing them or watching someone else play them and thinking, it's going to be good. And that happened with every last one of them.
That's not a hot take. Swain, give me a hot take.
I didn't like Sentinel.
Whoa, yeah, see, that's a hot take.
I guess that's a hot take. All right, Bones, give me another one. Maybe that'll inspire me.
Everyone's complaining about Arcstrider and how it's the worst super overall in Destiny 2, and I'm like, how the hell are you using the Gunslinger one? That one was terrible. That's my hot take. It lasted for like half a second, and then it was like harder to aim than the other one. I was like, no, I'm never using this.
Yeah, I really liked the ball, and I thought they all had merits. And I just want everyone to have a good time.
All right. Let's start with Hunter. This is a very hot topic one, but just give me the thing I need to know about Gunslinger and how that works. Because what I don't want to believe, and everyone says like, oh well, the other skill tree is good for PvP, but I don't want one for PvP. I want to see merits in both skill trees. What was good about Gunslinger?
Well, okay, so the thing you notice about Gunslinger right away is that one perk in the one skill tree that gives you 6 shots, but they go really quick. Like that is, it is hard to feel the rest of it. I could just say, like, after playing all of these other ones, it was nice to play Gunslinger for the same reason it is to play in D1, because sometimes it's nice to just shoot people from across the map and they explode instantaneously and it's not hard to hit them and you just kill them. It was nice to just shoot things. Grenades felt okay. I don't know. I couldn't really figure out the throwing knife. A lot of people were having luck with it against me, but I never quite landed them. They didn't feel as punishing.
It exploded when it like hit a wall too. So you had to you could play it kind of almost like a tiny grenade.
Yeah, like a smoke or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the Gunslinger grenade thing. It seems like the sort of scatter one was working pretty well too, even though we don't really see that in D1 anymore. So I think all the grenades changes were pretty solid, and at least we saw variance, and it wasn't just, oh, you're on Striker, use lightning grenades.
Yeah. I played one night of what's the Arc one?
Arcstrider.
Yeah. I played one whole night of it. And I don't know.
Didn't like it?
See, overall trouble I had with pretty much all of the roaming supers was the fact that everyone else is faster than you when you're in your super.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because of like the move, like with Sentinel, your charge like moves slower. With Arcstrider, you tumble around and it ends up like you lose ground when you do it. So it was like a good team would just simply run away from you and you would run out your super. And a good team would literally just hide behind a rock for 2 seconds and you'd be out of your Gunslinger.
I have a counter to that. To the Arcstrider, especially since that one is noticeably slower, or not noticeably slower, it doesn't have a speed boost such as the Striker while in super. It sort of seemed like any time you pop a super, it was pretty standard to just sort of run to the back corners of the spawns. You know, like you didn't pop a super and then find yourself weaving around through the hallways in the middle on Endless Veil. It was just sort of like back off. And I feel like that happened so much in Control, where it was just like, and maybe it's because all the supers kind of came towards the end of the game, where it's just like, I know we lost, or like, it's not that close. And if a really close game happened, sure. But I think part of the perception of the supers being difficult was that it did just make sense. Spawn up, stay way in the back, get out here way in the open. I'm not even going to try to bother because none of us have like a shotgun to immediately shut them down.
I would say that part of my difficulty with the supers and with countering them was almost always the fact that it was like the game's much different. And I'm just not like a week. I'm not going to be used to it. I'm not going to be used to the pace. I'm not going to be used to where I need to go, how I need to do my encounters. Because if I knew what I was doing, I would probably pop my super closer to engagements or pop my super within a group of people so that I could get the multi-kill.
Right.
Or sneak up and play like smart. Whereas, I would find sometimes I'd be like, all right, I'm going to pop my super simply because I want to use my super before the game ends.
Yeah.
And find like, oh, wait, I ran around for a little while and found no one. I found that, with when we get to the other subclasses, but there was one in particular that I found that like, it was just so like it would go quick if you tried to be more mobile.
I mean, I don't want to be call me an apologist or whatever, but like, I think it's a fair way to balance a super powerful roaming super by saying that lasts a long time, by saying that you're going to have to pop it in a way so people just can't run away. I mean, some of my best Arcstrider supers were defending a charge on Countdown, where I pop it in the room and say, okay, you can come in here, but I know you can hear this thing. Don't do it. And that there's also a bit of a skill ceiling to it, because I did watch Arcstrider plays who were super mobile that could really get some distance, could work back into the spawn with their super. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it wasn't the blink up into the air and slash your way across as it is with Blade Dancer right now. But I thought it was pretty effective. I don't know. I liked it. I like playing them.
Famous birds, the bungee shill. Shill.
Yeah, maybe a little, but I don't know. I liked it. It felt good, and it felt like it wasn't super out of whack with the rest of the class. I felt okay with both of them. And like with Gunslinger, I definitely put up some 4 pieces, like with the golden gun. Mm-hmm. I found myself being forced to wait to say not yet, they're going to run away, and pushing out over them or into them a little more than I'd be comfortable with, just to know that I'd be close when I pop my super. But it's just another thing to figure out. It's not a bad thing.
And infinite rolls while you're in that super. I know.
Oh, so much of that by the end.
Clips were good. People are going like, "Look at this Arcstrider crap. This sucks." And I'm like, I'm literally watching it run in a straight line. Anyone dies running in a straight line.
My favorite clip is that little GIF that you shared, Bones, of the Arcstrider like doing like a handstand flip through the bolts of a fusion rifle.
Oh, incredible.
And it's like super matrixy, and you're like, oh my God.
That made it all worth it for me. That was like, I said beforehand when we were sort of making predictions that like, I was like, guys, I might play Arcstrider. Like, I think I still will play Arcstrider because I just want plays that look like that, even if they're 1 in 500.
Few and far between.
Yeah.
You sound like me.
Hey, man. Got to do it so it looks good. All right. So for a second, I thought I forgot that there were only 2 subclasses, not 3. And I was like waiting for the discussion to go to the Void one. But anyways, all right. Swain, your hot take was that you did not like Sentinel. And the reason that is a hot take is because they were the crowd favorite going into the beta. There was a lot of great little clips that made him look insanely good. I was very hipster about it, and I was like, I'm not going to play that because I don't want to be what everyone else is. But I kind of reined it in for me too. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
I'm going to say it like this. I said I didn't like Sentinel, but that wasn't the end of the sentence. I didn't like Sentinel because I liked Striker so much.
Ah, see, there you go.
Striker just felt so good. Like all of the aspects of it played really well. Its neutral game was great. I love the wall. The Titan wall is amazing. And it offers so many possibilities. It was almost like key to being able to capture B on control, because you would have to pop, like I'd pop the ball on, their spawn side, so that if they're coming from their little power ammo area, I'd be like, okay, well, they can't shoot me from the side. I can focus on middle lane. And then I can tell one of my teammates to focus on, power ammo, alcove.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome. But the super itself, the Striker super, was awesome. And the ability to run kind of fast, the sun chargey Striker charge that you get, and the ability to slam was awesome. Like all that combined made for a very good roaming super.
It took me a minute to figure out the key combos or what you press for all the different things during that Striker super, but just being able to smash 4 or 5 times in one super is, it's nuts. It's just like the current one, except you get 5 of them and you don't just stand there crouched getting shot after each one.
It felt like Sunbreaker to me. Like I would, anytime I, popped my Striker super, I was like, yeah, I'm going to probably get at least 2 here. Whereas Sunbreaker was like, oh yeah, 3. 3's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Sentinel goes, Sentinel felt good. I'm not gonna lie, it felt good. A lot of it I enjoyed. It's gonna be one of those supers you're gonna have to put some time into, and you're gonna have to wanna fight through how hard it's gonna be at first, because you're gonna have to learn the ins and the outs of when to pop a bubble, or when is it ideal to, hold your shield up and really move forward, or do what True Vanguard did and, hold the shield up as you, defuse a bomb. There's so many aspects of that super that could come in handy in different areas. And I think that's it. It's like a Swiss Army knife almost.
I also feel like it played a lot like Defender. It was always obviously the successor, but it was very reminiscent of that with the melee overshield. And this is also really the attunement, because you could do the bubble at all. But it was kind of cool to see, Destiny Fun Police really make it work exactly he's always been doing it. And it was like, oh, cool. This is a really defensive class. It was sort of looked like the Slayer, and everyone was like, it's got so many moves. But yeah, it was a defensive play style. I don't play a lot of Defender, just for that reason, but it did feel good in the sense that I knew it's like, yeah, I can really hold down a spot with this.
It was that Fun Police video that did it for me. That was Sentinel. I probably played the least of out of the beta. Not for me, but it made me so happy to watch his montage and see all of those same tricks and all of the people falling for the same tricks that we've been falling for,
which are much
defenders.
more important now when he gets a suppressor grenade on you.
Oh,
you lost your one super that you get for the entire game. It's upsetting, and he's probably going to get a lot more hate mail.
Oh yeah. Suppressors are just as nasty, especially when they're fewer supers, but I think he's kind of probably used to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Birds, you saw a good video and you're like, oh, cool. Someone's doing it right. Probably won't be me. But Bones, I'm pretty sure you got some time on Titan. Did you like Striker or Sentinel more?
Striker, dude. It was good. It's like,
yeah, right.
For just saying that the Sentinel played like Defender, and that's not my vibe. I liked the punchiness of the striker, the offensive options. Shoulder charge being a little more strategic, can't just run around and use it all the time. But it was
Bones and
awesome
Swain, the
when he got
Smash
kills. That was awesome. Literally 2 people. That is not fun to die to. Yeah, I mean, it was really awesome. I love the animation of the new shoulder charge. It looks great. I thought all 3 grenades options were really cool.
Oh man, pulse grenade. Use pulse grenades if they're still as good as they were in the beta. Use a pulse grenade, create an arc swamp on the point, and no one ever goes there.
Yeah. I think all the grenades were cool. The super does feel especially awesome. I think it's a great subclass. I don't have any real concerns about that one at all. So if I'm ever gonna level up my Titan anytime soon in D2, it'll probably be to the striker right away.
You gotta be careful though with the shoulder charge because it's no longer a one hit kill. That's a habit you're gonna have to break.
Yeah.
Like I found myself in situations where I was like, oh crap. I just shoulder charged into this fight and now I have to like do something. What is it? Yeah. Hit fire my hand cannon or swing wildly and hope, I get a melee kill, but a lot of times I died.
To be clear, I didn't play a lot of Sentinel. I did play a fair amount of Striker, and I think the thing that I noticed was that, because my initial impression of Striker was like, oh, you can't skate anymore. But honestly, after having played it in the beta, that
You're
fast
still kind of
mobility,
fast.
yeah, just like not what's the right verb to describe just like just tearing around the map 2 feet off of the ground, and having it be mobile and responsive and able to corner tightly, especially with shoulder charge. I thought it felt great, and definitely a great choice for the quick flank. The one thing I never did fully understand is the wall. Like I popped so many walls, I forgot to pop so many walls. I don't know if I ever like popped a wall and then spent any time like trying to use it to like play footsie or shoot through it around. I guess it was fine, but I don't really understand that one.
What I did a few nice things with the wall, and who knows if this was me being awesome or someone else just really not caring in our duel. So I don't want to give myself a ton of credit for this skill, but I popped the big barrier and then you could just literally use it in a 360 because it's got a curve and you stand at the end of it and they can't hit you through it. And I did these sort of like, what's the game with the chairs? Musical chairs.
Musical chairs.
I did like
oh god, that's actually what you were going for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like
the thing at the bar mitzvah where they hoist you up. And,
I spent a lot of time looking like
clap.
I didn't actually shoot, and I would just sort of walk around the shield, and they would sort of walk around and be like, "What? Stop it!" And they'd kind of like follow me around, and then I just sort of basically walk them into the line of fire of my teammate, and then they went, "Oh crap, what am I doing?" And I'd go up and punch them. Like you could really do some dances with that. And I popped it on B at Endless Veil, and I could block the guy coming ahead. And then I saw a guy from my right. And instead of going, oh no, my wall isn't facing that way, I just stood on the corner of it. And they couldn't really shoot me. And I sort of stared them down, and they didn't really approach. And I was like, this is kind of fun. I just love that it fits in hallways. Like every map has a nice little hallway that you can literally block from pushing in. And I think that's a great utility. So I liked the tall barrier more than the short one, I think.
Unlimited sweet business on the short barrier.
Yeah, that's a nice little combo.
There were fun moments where we'd played one match with 4 Titans where we just hop on B and just like pop all 4 walls in a square. And it's not like a great choice. It's not super effective or anything, but it sure is funny. Never get over the joy of that.
So we guys want to move along to
let's move right along.
Warlock?
Yeah, the Warlock, man.
Can I just profess something real quick? It's like, this is real. Like, I am genuinely upset that I built up a reputation as as like Titan. Like, I don't want to like, it almost feels like I'm a traitor. For real though, it feels like I'd be like, if I want to play a lot of Warlock in D2, I'm gonna feel bad about it. But the beta made me want to play a lot of Warlock.
Yeah, I I freaking love Voidwalker. I don't know if I ever got more than one kill with that Slova bomb. I'm anxious to see what the other one is, but I just liked it. I like the kit. I like Blink. And also I just found out after the beta ended that you can glide with Blink. Like you can hold circle and it'll glide you on down to give you a little bit of wiggle room around the tough high jumps. Apparently that's a thing that they put in there too.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed Dawnblade a lot.
You did. Were you using the Angel of Mercy, whatever they call it thing? Were you having any luck with that?
Yeah, you got to use it, but also use your dodge ability. See,
that was my problem right there. I didn't do the dodge.
I definitely forgot to dodge a lot, and I kind of hate that because I thought it was so cool that the Warlocks got that perk. It's almost required though if you're gonna try to take advantage of floating around and shooting in the air, because with how long it takes to kill someone, you're really up there and you kind of hang yourself out. So it was kind of tough, and I had to stop doing that whenever I'd switch to Dawnblade. But the Twilight Garrison is the only exotic that's been on my striker for a year. It's such a good perk. So it's cool that it's just intrinsic in that skill tree, and that it's synergistic with other things rather than just a free addition. But I liked the Dawnblade. I think the super just looks cool. I definitely need more practice with that one. I kind of floated up into walls and sort of pushed into flat surfaces, and then didn't throw a sword at the enemy, but instead of into a cement wall in front of me. I got to work on that.
The way the actual sword throw spins, that threw me off a little bit. Like when you throw a projectile, you expect it to just either have an arc or go forward at go straight. And it was there'd be times where I'd throw it and be like, oh, that went off to the side there. I didn't mean to throw it over there.
Yeah, it has some arc to it too. So it kind of throws just like the hammer. It will fall off and kind of drop down, and that was kind of tough to get used to.
I definitely had the most fun juking Dawnblades. That sword is dangerous, but there was a lot of times where I could feel them closing in on me. I kind of got a sense of how long it would take. I'm just going to keep playing chicken around this pillar with you until you until you run out the clock on that one. I'd usually die right after when the rest of their team came and cleaned me up, but yeah, that was it seems like that Dawnblade super is going to be really tied to certain maps or certain situations where you really have that clear line of sight.
Over time, I developed a feel for how I think I would use Dawnblade effectively, and it's abusing the unlimited dodge that you get while you're in super. And the way it makes me feel Sunbreaker-y, because Sunbreaker, you have to be able to you have to be willing to sacrifice some of your super for some need. With Sunbreaker, it's closing a gap, or getting away or connecting kills. But for Dawnblade, it's all right, I need to be able to sacrifice some of my super to close the gap. So I get my first kill and I know I'm tracking someone down. I'm going to use a little bit of my super so that I can get there faster than them. So there's a trade-off to it. And you have to be a little bit more aware of when you can trade off and when you should just go for a regular super.
On the Dawnblade, because this is another one I just didn't play that much. What grenades did you guys end up using?
I used solar. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I used a lot of the firebolt.
Yep.
Because there's always the firebolt fits well into the amount of team shots you were doing. So it'd be team shotting, or someone's on the opposite side of someone, and you can be like, all right, well, I'm just going to throw this firebolt down into this corner because I know that someone's going to finish them up.
I found myself liking the solar grenades, the void version of that, the pulse grenades. I felt like the area control grenades actually did something in this game, and they just sort of worked better for me because I definitely had a hard time kind of gauging the distance on stuff like the arc or fire bolts, and I would throw them a little just kind of at nothing. So just knowing that I could put one on the ground and it's gonna be where I hit it was really effective. And you can certainly get some kills by finishing off a Guardian who's kind of cornered and just throwing it right on him, or just kind of pushing them the direction you want to go. And with grenades not being the pure damage dealers that they are, it's nice to use them more to corral rather than hope that they do enough damage to kill.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting to see just how used the pulse grenade, the vortex grenade, and the whatever the solar one is called actually ended up getting used compared to D1, where it was just like a joke if you ever ended up using those. Yeah, that they've increased the radius on them, they've increased the burn, and with objective sort of areas where that makes sense, they got used more.
Okay, let's talk about Voidwalker.
I did not play Voidwalker, so I'm gonna take a quick nap.
The neutral game is freaking cool. There's something very interesting about the Voidwalker. The new perks to use your super energy to overcharge your grenade is so interesting. I was just like, it was very cool. This was like it was a totally new Destiny mechanic that I had to learn from the ground up. It's the Chaos Accelerant one, where you hold the button to throw your grenade, and instead of throwing it immediately, you sort of do a little charge move, and then you're holding a more powerful void grenade in your hand, and you throw it. And Fallout did some testing.
If you have not seen this Fallout video, go see it. It clears it all up.
Yeah. So there's not just a large amount more damage done, but it increases the area of effect, maybe how long it lasts, things like that. So that's why I was liking the area grenades, like I said, but you could just sort of throw it there and it would cover the entire point of B rather than just a little bit. So I thought that was really cool. Tough to use. I was overall bad at grenades, I think, to be honest. But then stuff like Bloom comes back and you've got those big grenades with Bloom. It's just like, that's that old Voidwalker thing of just clearing a room by shooting one guy at one point.
The tricky thing with that grenade charge ability is that it lets you just hold it down, which is a situation where you can be in where you're walking around holding a primed grenade ready to throw, but you are burning your super bar continuously as you do it. So you can't. I don't think you have to be careful not to do that. It's kind of tricky that they've left that in the game. So it continues to burn super as you hold it instead of just being charged. But yeah, Fallout found that there's a moment in the animation where there's a little flash around your hand, at which point the grenade is fully charged. You don't need to do anything extra. And that was interesting to me because I thought it just boosted damage. But no, like you said, it seems to, it just makes them more effective. So I think with the Axion, you got like an extra seeker, or the seekers tracked farther. With the scatter grenade, all of the little scatter dillies tracked more. They would magnet onto people to the point where it seems like it would be hard to justify using a regular grenade or using the grenade without that ability, because that perk is so big. So yeah, practice that animation, holding it the right amount.
Yeah, and then the big surprising thing for the beta, from my perspective, was Blink. Blink feels awesome. I know it's been there. I know I can go use it anytime I want, but there was something about using it in D2 that just felt great. And it was something that instantly came back to me. I think Blink is truly something that I really excelled in early on, and it felt great to use it again. I have to adjust to the radar going away. Certainly can throw you off if you don't blink into the perfect spot. And then the gun time afterwards takes a little bit, but the melee works really quickly. It's an awesome finishing move. I found myself escaping strikers by just blinking over their heads or behind them and things like that. So fun. That's really what I loved about Blink back in the day, was the dodge potential. And it just felt great. I thought it was so cool. So even though there's this fairly wonky Voidwalker Nova Bomb that I don't quite understand, I will be playing this subclass because of Blink, because it is that awesome.
I definitely got punished more than I succeeded using Blink, and I don't even care. I don't even care. Blink was awesome, and it was confusing, and when it was on, it was on. I still can't get over that 3Bs clip where he was just Blink shotgunning like it was nothing. Yeah, and the fact that it is tied to that one subclass, that it is really a Voidwalker. It's a Warlock feature. teleportation is a Warlock thing, along with floating 6 inches off the ground for no reason. In every start screen. I thought it was great. And I think that will be probably my second subclass to start working on once the game drops for sure.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if we kind of have to, like maybe they'll give us our old ones before we get the new ones with however the story mission progresses. But Voidwalker is probably going to be, it might be my first. I'm so intrigued by this other attunement that we haven't used yet too. I mean, this one's really weird. It doesn't explain itself certainly with the perks, but there's a singularity which damages enemies trapped inside. It sounds like maybe this will be the Zarya loadout where I'll use Cold Heart and the Singularity and throw it and they all get sucked in and then it just hold the beam on all of them. I don't know, but it's very intriguing. The super is certainly strange because I still found myself throwing it at my feet to use it as the shutdown move, but it just was slower. And I didn't quite get shooting it at a distance. It was kind of all over the place, but I feel like I got to throw 100 more Nova Bombs before I get the feel for that one.
I think this Luke Smith quote from the AMA perfectly leaves us off here. Well, not so perfect, but it's good to say that we're not going to see everything that's left. And here's the quote. Luke said, like I said before, it's IGN first, not IGN everything. We're not going to be able to see everything that's coming our way. Who knows? There could possibly be the third, subclass when we even start. I think that'd be cool. It's not, it's a far reach, I think, because if we're not testing it, maybe it's not in there. Anyway, there's a lot there that we don't even know. And even with, like you said, attunements we haven't played yet. That could just be amazing.
Yeah. It's a whole world out there.
Yeah. So don't take this as the definitive Crucible Radio thoughts on subclasses.
Nope, this is it. Never change for the next 3 years.
Fuck.
Golden Gun, what the heck? That's what I say.
Heck 'em all.
Heck 'em all.
Oh, heckin' Goldie.
Crucible Radio 2019, heck 'em all.
I don't know if you guys have noticed Contacts and Mike the Iron trying to out-polite each other as Spy approach to get secrets from Future Wars Bones Inner Circle. But in particular, the disguise Mike was wearing, I think really brought it home.
The Clone Wars are intense and they're alive and they're happening right now, but just in ways you wouldn't expect.
Yep. The most Canadian and the most British spy team up to try and out-polite some words of secrecy from the enemy.
It's a good thing I don't have any secrets.
Only a person with secrets says that.
Strikingly open book. What is going on over there?
No, we're just cool guys who like Destiny, Star Wars, and we're literate.
What are you suggesting?
Hey, I don't see like you starting a book club.
This literacy point of pride is loaded, man.
All right, here's what you got to do. If you can read, you're permitted to join Swain Orbit. That's their only requirement, apparently. Over in Bird's Monarchy is some crushing and some smushing. And in Future War Bones, I don't know. We just act like adults and don't act like goofballs.
Lame.
Not even true.
Can't even read.
Can't even. I'm just saying it's not literally a listed requirement. Okay, I don't put it on the application. They say, "Hey, can you read?" Great.
I'm just saying that we can read. You haven't really talked about it yet.
I haven't.
Bones is anti-reading.
Look, it's a simple question. If you can read, why don't you just prove that you can read? It's a simple question. Yes or no? Are you literate?
Read this book.
The thing I'm worried about is that they started calling me King of the North, and I understand that's your thing, Swain, but they're really into it at this point. So I think we just have 2 Rob Stark-based showdowns happening, and it's going to be tough to rebrand to being Southerners, but we'll see.
I think though, like Dead Orbit has way more of a dark look to it. So I think you're out of luck, bud. I think you're more of a Lannister.
I don't want to be a
Yeah.
I don't watch Game
Lannister.
of Thrones. If you're tired of this, come
I
join
am a
Future
little
Warbones.
Lannister. No, we are role playing the Game of Thrones things hard over at House Birds. Let's wrap this up, guys. At Crucible Radio, at Bones_CR, at Swain_CR, at Famous Birds.
Join the Discord, discord.gg/Crucible Radio. You can find the announcement with all the links to join the other Discords. There's like
out.
You're immediately going to be in 4 Discords if you join. So
Okay.
So much. See you next week, guys. I'll see you in
Love
30
you.
seconds.
I'm going to literally pass out after this.
Oh, well, have
Just
fun
hit
with
stop
that.
and make sure to send it to Andrew. But good night, Swain.
Done deal.
Please don't smush me.
We're gonna smushing.
We got more music this week from Super Soul Bros, and we're going to keep on playing them, so you better go check them out. It's supersoulbros.com. Love this stuff. And hey, if you're a musician, we want to hear your music. We want to play it on the show. Send us an email to crucibleradio@gmail.com. Nailed it.
Bird's Butt is the home of.
We're the home of crushing and smushing. Oh, I'm crying.
Crushing and smushing.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Put this at the end of the episode, please.
As soon as he said the word smushing, I just lost it.
That's working for you. Okay. No taken.
Home of crushing
And smushing.
We're gonna cut off their butts and put it up the remaining butts.
We're gonna roll them out like sugar cookies. What's up, everyone? Bones here. Do you like podcasts? Do you like chill conversation? Well, me and my co-host Swain and Birds put out a bonus podcast every month on Patreon. If you want to check it out and be a part of more awesome stuff, head over to patreon.com/Crucible Radio and join the squad. See you there.